ஒன்டாரியோ மாகாண சட்டசபை தேர்தல் எதிர்வரும் ஜூன் மாதம் 2ஆம் தேதி நடைபெறவிருக்கிறது. இந்த தேர்தலில் ஸ்கார்பரோ ரோஜ் பார்க் தேர்தல் தொகுதியிலே போட்டியிடவிருக்கிறார் நம்முடைய தமிழரான விஜய் தனிகாசலம். ஏற்கனவே இதே தொகுதியில் கடந்த தேர்தலிலும் போட்டியிட்டு வெற்றி பெற்ற அவர் மீண்டும் தெரிவு செய்யப்படுவதற்காக போட்டியிடுகிறார். இதே தொகுதியில் 2வது தடவையாக போட்டியிடும் அவர் இன்று தனது பிரச்சார பயணத்தை ஆரம்பிக்கிறார். அதே நேரத்திலே அவருடைய காரியாலயமும் இன்று திறந்து வைக்கப்படவிருக்கிறது. இந்த திறந்து வைக்கப்படவிருக்கின்ற இந்த விழாவிலே அமைச்சர்கள் மற்ற முன்னாள் சட்டசபை உறுப்பினர்கள் இங்கே காத்திருக்கிறார்கள். உங்களுக்கு பார்க்கக்கூடியதாக இருக்கும். இதோ இங்கே அமைச்சர் ஒருவரும் மற்ற நாடாளுமன்ற உறுப்பினர்கள் சட்டசபை உறுப்பினர்களும் இங்கே இருக்கிறார்கள். எங்களுடைய கடந்த தடவை தேர்தலில் போட்டியிட்டு வெற்றி பெற்ற 2 தமிழர்களும் இங்கே இருக்கிறார்கள். லோகன் கனோதி அவர்கள் இருக்கிறார், ஹாரிஸ் பபிகேன் இருக்கிறார், ரேமன் சௌ அவர்கள் இருக்கிறார்கள். இதோ இப்பொழுது நாடா வெட்டி இந்த திறப்பு விழா ஆரம்பிக்கவிருக்கிறது. இதோ இங்கே இதோ பத்திரிகைகள் தயாராக எல்லாரும் ரெடி. இதோ இதோ திறப்பு விழா, இதோ வெட்டப்படுகிறது ரிபன். நாடா வெட்டப்பட்டுள்ள நிலையிலே இப்பொழுது அனைவரும் காரியாலயத்தினுள் சென்றிருக்கிறார்கள். இப்பொழுது விஜய் தனிகாசலம் அவர்கள் உள்ளே நுழைந்திருக்கிறார்கள். மத்திய அமைச்சர்கள், சட்டசபை உறுப்பினர்கள், முன்னாள் சட்டசபை உறுப்பினர்கள் ஒவ்வொருவராக உள்ளே நுழைந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். பணிமனை திறக்கப்பட்டுள்ள இந்த நேரத்திலே உள்ளே நுழைந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்ற மத்திய சட்டசபை உறுப்பினர்கள் அவர்களை எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு பார்க்கக்கூடியதாக இருக்கும். இதுவும் நாங்கள் இப்பொழுது இப்பொழுது காரியாலயம் திறக்கப்பட்டுள்ள நிலையிலே பிரச்சாரம் உத்தியோகபூர்வமாக ஆரம்பிக்கப்படவிருக்கிறது. பிரச்சார நிலையிலே இங்கே இப்பொழுது இந்த பகுதியிலே முன்னாள் சட்டசபை உறுப்பினர்கள்
Hello everybody, good evening and welcome again. History is about to be made. Why don't you put your hands together for being here? We're glad you're here. I'm happy you're here. And the decisions we make determine the outcomes of our lives, the state of our environment, and the communities our children will be raised. That's why we're here today to make sure that the right people get into the right office, even at such a time as this. Our efforts and our time is not wasted. We're here because we want our communities to be safer, better, and prosperous. I want to thank everybody for coming and formally welcome you to the re-election campaign of our very good friend, our brother, MP Vijay Thanigasalam. With me on the stage is Saranja.
Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I'm just going to switch in Tamil very quickly before I turn it back over to Coach John. இங்கிருந்து வந்திருக்கும் உங்கள் மிக மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகள். Thank you to everyone who has been joined us here for the grand opening of and the kickoff launch for Vijay Thanigasalam's re-election campaign. I just want to very quickly introduce Coach John. Coach John வந்து எங்களோட community a very big leader in the West Rouge area. Our sports மூலமா youth empower பண்றதுதான் அவர்ட்ட very big goal, and we're very very happy to have him here to host and kick off Vijay's re-election campaign. So please put your hands together for Coach John.
Thank you, everybody. Why am I here? How did I meet Vijay? Why am I standing for Vijay? I work with thousands of kids each week. Coach Nosa, we run several basketball programs all across the city. One of the things we found out is that the next generation, they need icons and people that will inspire them. They need to see role models in the community. I connected with Vijay when he came to one of our programs, and he said, watch this, when he was 14, he entered Canada, and in 15 years later, he's an MPP in Toronto. I say that with passion and boldness. That's why when I go to communities, I still basketball, Woburn basketball, Willow basketball, Westwood basketball, and in all of this community, I see students. Coach Nova is here. Sometimes we go see parents. The kids come back after school. Where's your father? Is he coming to pick you? They say, I don't know my dad. A lot of them go into drugs. A lot of them go into things. So we need people who can tell them you can be anything you want to be, regardless of your background. If only you can have vision and be focused. Stay off drugs, stay off bad friends, you can be like Vijay. So I take Vijay's story anywhere I go. That's why I'm here. I want to bring it back to Scarborough. Very quickly. Yes, very quickly, we're going to be introducing our first speaker. A good friend of Vijay Thanigasalam is the Minister of Finance and also the MP for Pickering and Uxbridge Riding. Please welcome Peter Betafan.
Wow, he got my name right, Betafan. That's almost as tough as Thanigasalam. So it's great to be here again. It was only 4 years ago, just a few doors down, opening up Vijay, your campaign office 4 years ago. And guess what, folks? Guess who's going back to Queen's Park? Vijay Thanigasalam. You know, I'm the neighbor just Pickering Uxbridge, as you just mentioned, but I got to tell you, when I'm up here, the great Raymond Show in Scarborough, Logan Canapathy, Aris Rebekian, Paul Calandra, we and all these folks back to Queen's Park 4 more years. And I got to tell you, I've knocked on doors with Vijay. He is such a great person at the door. He's delivering Scarborough. All our for Scarborough, the Shepherd Line, health care, you name it, these guys are delivering it. But there's more to do. Let's send them all back to Queen's Park. So it's a real honor to be here. I have to go to another that could stay longer. I'm such a big fan of Vijay. Every one of you being here tonight, supporting Vijay, is so important. I feel the wind in our backs because of you today. So let's carry on. Let's put Doug Ford back at Queen's Park. Let's put every one of these MPPs, and let's send Vijay to Queen's Park. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister, for joining us even on your busy schedule and some kind words and support for Vijay. Thank you again. Before we move on to the next speaker, I just want to really, really thank you from the bottom of our heart for all of the outlets that are here today. The support that I see with all of these cameras, I see a live stream as well, and I see Color Media, I see YouTube Radio, I see so many more media. I'm so sorry if I can't name you off the top of my head right now, but thank you to each and every one of you for joining us here today. It really, really means a lot. Feel free to tag us in all of your social media posts at the VJT. We'll be sure to share that with you as well. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Coach John to introduce our next guest speaker.
Let's go, VJ. Let's go. Let's go, VJ. Let's go. All right. Coming up next, we have the Minister for Long-Term Care, and also he's the government house leader of the PC party, and is the MPP candidate for Markhamstow. Please welcome Paul Kandra.
It's actually good to be back here. As Vijay knows, actually maybe many of you may know, I grew up not far from here. Actually, off my first job was actually beside Ted's restaurant. It used to be a gas station, and I used to pump on the weekend for $3.25 an hour. Yeah, I was probably overpaid because you're probably not wrong, unfortunately, but I know it well. I went to Pope John Paul and this community very well. And when Vijay told me that he was going to be the guy who wanted to represent this community, I can't tell you how happy I was, because I knew we'd finally get the community back into safe hands again. And it has been under Vijay in safe hands. I can't tell you. I'm actually very jealous of Vijay. This is a guy who is young, smart. He's far better than me. He works hard. And what he's accomplished, I know he and the Scarborough team will tell you what he actually accomplished in 4 short years. But what they've accomplished is absolutely remarkable. And if you'll just permit me, I mean, I used to work here as an assistant to a politician in this community back then, and I see some of the people that I met for the first time, Logan, when I was just an assistant. I think the first time I met a Tamil was back in 1995. It was a new community, and we worked so hard to get to know each other. I mean, how often did we say we have to stop helping other people? The Tamil community has to stop helping other people get elected, and they have to get themselves elected in the office. And here we got Vijay, we got Logan, and you have two of the most powerful people working in our government today. So do everything you have to do to get Vijay back there, because we cannot allow. You saw what 15 years of the others did to this community. They weren't able to deliver in this community. And in 4 short years, look at what Vijay has delivered. Look how important he is. As I said, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't accomplish great things in this country and in this province, because he shows everybody what you can accomplish. Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how long you have been here, doesn't matter what your circumstances are. This guy said he was going to do it. He did it. He delivered, and he's going to continue to deliver. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kalandra, for those amazing words. You're raised in Scarborough. Thank you for sharing those anecdotes and inspiring our youth. And of course, last but not least, sharing those kind words about you as well. Thank you again. And at this time, I want to say a very special thank you to our donors that are here today and have supported us from 2018 to now, and will continue to do so as well. Each and every dollar makes a huge difference in Scarborough Rouge Park, and that's what's gotten Vijay elected before, and that's what's going to get him reelected again. So thank you all very, very much. If you'd like to continue to support Vijay throughout this campaign, please visit the registration desk for some more details, and we'll be happy to provide that to you. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to Coach John again.
Thank you, everybody. The hour has come for us to invite the next person who's going to speak. He's been an MP for 30 years, and I know Vijay is going to do another 30 years. Please welcome the Ministers of Seniors and Accessibility and the PC candidate for Scarborough North, Minister Raymond Shaw.
Hello, welcome. You know, when Vijay was running last election, I told him, you tell everybody I support you, then you get elected. And he got elected. So I've been in politics long time, and 30 years, and I never seen politician working so hard like Vijay Thanigasalam. And he will get re-elected landslide. Another MPP from Scarborough, this Vijay, he's working super hard. And we have a good team in Scarborough. You know, when today I arrived here, I saw House Leader, Minister Long-Term Care. Oh my God, he's a business minister. He's here. And the finance, Peter Salvi, my God. And I saw Logan Karapati MP from Scarborough. I could guarantee Vijay will get re-elected. No problem. But, you know, I like to share a story. And I was a social worker when I first landed, the best country, Canada. And I was a dishwasher. Now I'm talking to you as a minister, but the story has nothing to do with politics. But I was a social worker. My supervisor was, his name is Mr. Zenkuti. He's a lawyer from Hungary. He has PhD. He practiced, so he becomes social worker. And I have a lot of respect for Mr. Zenkuti. And he asked me, Raymond, yes, sir. You know, what do you need when you want to win the world? I don't know where. I don't know. So what do you need, sir? It's money. Okay. And he said, what's the second thing you need in the world? I don't know. And Mr. Zenkuti says money. The third thing, he says money. Why am I telling you this story? You know, election is exactly like a war. And the election, we need the money. Okay? We have a saying, you collect dust and build a mountain. If you want see Vijay Thanigasalam get re-elected, make sure everybody make a donation. We need the money. And to win the war, we need a good commanding general. We have an excellent premier, Ford. And to win the war, and we need each unit command. Vijay Thanigasalam, so smart, and he's already parliamentary assistant. After this election, we form the government. I have no doubt Vijay Thanigasalam become minister too. But we have to work really, really hard. Okay? So I'm so glad Logan Karapati, we've been friends a long time. Logan has been politician for a long time. We are family friends before he became politician. I'm so glad, you know, the community, you have an excellent two representative, Logan Karapati and Vijay Thanigasalam and MPP is Babikian. So everybody, when you work really hard, he will get a landslide victory. Okay? So now I say VA, and then I say victory. Okay? And when I say landslide, you say victory. He will landslide victory. Okay? Okay. When I say Bonaka, you just keep saying victory. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Welcome. Victory. VA victory. Landslide victory. Okay. DJ, come up here. Oh, okay. No? He will become landslide victory. Okay? And Addis Babikian, you come up here. Yes. Yeah, we will last time. Yeah, you come beside me.
He's calling the
Logan,
Scarborough.
come here. Okay, Minister Kandra, come beside. Okay, we're going to landslide victory. Okay, okay. Thank you. No more Nandri. No more Nandri.
Nandri, Mr. Cho, I know you know what that means. Thank you so much for those kind rewards, and it will definitely be a landslide victory. And I just want to welcome Minister Stancho, today as well. Welcome. Um, and I have another set of thank yous as well. This one's very, very special too. I want to thank all of the Anna man that have really helped us. And means an older brother, and that's kind of what they are to our family at Team Vijay here. And I just want to thank them from the bottom of our hearts to set up this entire office in a matter of days, in a matter of hours. So whether that be the signs, whether that be food and feeding our volunteers, whether that be just email invites. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing. Can we give a huge round of applause for all of them?
Thank you once again. Thank you, Minister. Very quickly, we're calling up our next speaker. He's a PC, is the MPP for Scarborough Aging Court. Please welcome Aris Bikan.
Good afternoon, dear friends. It's great to be here once again. I remember 4 years ago, as Minister Pettenvold, that we were next door. We celebrated Vijay's candidacy, and after then we saw the result. And I am sure that on the second we will have the same result. We bring Vijay back to Queen's Park, all our colleagues who are here. I had the pleasure of knowing Vijay for over a little bit 4 years. Actually, I known him before the elections, and Vijay was a young man. And as someone who is involved in the Armenian community, we sat down a few times. We discussed some of the issues which he is very passionate about, very committed about, especially the plight of his own people. And because I come from similar background, we sat down together. The first thing he asked me, how did you do it? And he was mentioning about the recognition of the Armenian genocide in Canada. So we had lengthy discussion. Not only that, but also he asked me, how can we motivate the young generation of our community to become involved in the community of the Canadian life? That is the most important thing, because youth are the future generation of our community, our province, and our country. So I had the pleasure of working with Vijay for the last 4 years, and I am pleased and honored that I have worked with him also on bringing the Tamil Genocide Education Week to Queen's Park. It was a great achievement for Vijay and for the community, because it is Ontario is the first province in Canada to recognize the education and importance of the genocide, and that what it means to the community, the healing process, because without healing, there is no reconciliation, there is no closure of the wounds. So I am so glad, I'm so proud that I have been a colleague of Vijay for the last in Queen's Park, and I'm sure together, all of us, we will continue that struggle. We will continue to bring better things to come to our own communities and our own diverse communities, but also to our own communities which we are elected. Many of our colleagues already stated so many positive things that we brought to Scarborough in the last 4 years. I can assure you that better things to come to Scarborough. The Scarborough will turn to be the pride of Ontario. It will be a place to everyone to be coming, live, raise family, work, and enjoy their life. We cannot do it without Vijay. We cannot do it without our own colleagues who are here today. So friends, Let's work together to bring 4 more years of PC government, Premier Ford government, and of course our leaders here, Paul Calandra and the rest of the ministers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi. Let's clap one more time for him. All right. Next, welcoming the MPP, Malcolm Thornhill, is also the PC candidate. Please welcome Logan Anapati.
Thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone coming out and supporting my current MP and also candidate Scarborough Rouge, Vijay Thanigasalam. And we need 3 things to win this riding or any riding. We need 3 things. One is a candidate. That you have to have a fantastic candidate for Scarborough Rouge. That is a Vijay Thanigasalam. The other thing is that we have a good team. Look at the rooms, and I could tell you have extreme dreams. Depends on the team. I could tell you connected the old diverse people, not only in Scarborough Rouge in Ontario. And thank you for connecting all walk of life, all the diversity. That's show you your strength. And thank you. Other thing is very important. Thank you. Other thing is important is the money. Today I know you are raising the money. Without the money, we can't win the race. But I can't tell you we are going to win. With the election decided on election day, we can't take it for granted. There's a lot of challenges. I think we could able to win with your help. We had to stick on the door. We had to talk to the people. We had to sell our wonderful project and program. What we delivered so far, we have a house literacy and also long-term care. For example, we delivered so many important projects that we finish it. That's why we need 4 more years to complete our wonderful program. For example, it's a long-term care. So previous government, these are the record. We have to talk politics, when you come to the grand opening ceremony of your office. The last government, previous government, only 611 long-term care bed. Our government is committed to build over 25,000 long-term care bed. We already put the shovel on the ground for 3,000 long-term care bed, including in Market region, 1,000 long-term care bed. These are the record we have. When you come to education, which I will talk about, we have a proven record. We change the face of the province, and thank you to the ministers. And also, when we come to the competition, we have Associate Minister, so thank you for coming. Raymond Shaw, the senior, I could talk about ours, what he's an amazing job he's doing for the wonderful community in Scarborough. And thank you to Aris Bobby Kianchi, another the wonderful from Agent Gordon. Thank you for coming out, and we're going to win. We will win with your help. We need for another 2 more months to go out and knock the door and bring the people to the polling station. Thank you. We wish you all the best. Keep smile what you are doing all the time, and keep focusing what you are focusing. And we need you. We need you. We need you, our government. Our premier needs you. People need you more than anything else. Scarborough Rouge needs you. Thank you. Wish you all the very best.
Let's go, VJ. Let's go. Let's go, VJ. Let's go. All right, please welcome the PC candidate and MPP for Willowdale, Minister Stan Cho.
Thank you very much for that. And I'm going to keep this brief, like 30 or 40 minutes. I had to make myself come to support Vijay. Vijay, we have a nickname for him at the Ministry of Transportation, GQ. And if you take a look at him, my suits got tighter during the pandemic. I don't know how he looks this way, but Vijay, you look fantastic. And I can see by the support in this room, packed wall to wall. It's no surprise because Vijay not only brings his smarts and his hard work, he brings class and he represents the Tamil community beautifully at Queen's Park. You should all be very proud of him. I am actually going to keep this brief, but we need 4 more years of Vijay. Why? 15 years before Vijay, did subways get built in Scarborough? Absolutely not. Did the GO Transit network get expanded? No way. Did transit fares get cheaper? Absolutely not. They've skyrocketed. And under Vijay's leadership at the Ministry of Transportation, we've eliminated double fares between most transit agencies and Go Transit. We have increased the youth discount for those aged 13 to 19, paying 40% off their Presto fees. We are expanding transit like no other government has, and subways are finally coming to Scarborough and East. That's what we get with somebody like Vijay Thanigasalam. So to everybody in this room, I ask, please, I can see you're all here, and thank you for being here. If you can donate, even $100, please donate. If Vijay needs a full war chest to take on the Liberal candidate here. If you don't have the means, please volunteer your time. That is going to be the difference maker. And if you give those two things, we the Vijay Thanigasalam.
Thank you so much, Minister. That was very well said. Those are the two asks that we're asking from you as well. And I want to see so many residents of Scarborough Rouge Park. I want to thank you guys for all your support for the past 4 years and beyond as well. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. It's your voices, your concerns that Vijay is voicing at Queen's Park. So thank you for your support. Like Minister said, that's what we need. Donations, and we need volunteers. Every little bit counts. So visit our registration desk whenever you have a chance. Sign up, give us your links, and we'll pass on information to you, okay? So without further ado, passing it on back to Coach John.
With a coach, you have to pass the ball. So let's welcome his former campaign chair, Joe Reese.
Good evening, everyone. I was proud to be his campaign chair last time. And if it wasn't for me, he might have got more votes to what even better. But I remember also training for the candidates before the last election. I remember Paul Calandra was there, Stan was there, Logan was there. And I had one message, because there is only one way to win an election. Only a lot of people. You have to make sure you get at least one vote more than your opposition. Actually, that's a joke. What you need to do is this, and this is what I told them in the class. Two things. ID your vote and get out your vote. Voter ID, Go TV. And this is where all of you will come in. Vijay needs to identify exactly where his voters are and who they are. These are people who promise that they will vote for him. But then you have to finish the job. Go TV. Get out the vote. So having ID'd your supporters, get them out. And that is the key to success. In any campaign office, you will see a lot of noise. You know, chatter. But the only thing that matters, believe me, get out the vote. ID the vote. Nothing else matters. And as I say again, that's why you're all here. If you can go with Vijay, door to door, get on the phone, make calls, identify your vote, get them out to vote, and you will win the. Now, what I'd like to do is to introduce you to the campaign manager from the last campaign. Melvin is here somewhere. Melvin, you need to come up. Because I'll tell you what the difference is. I'll tell you what the difference is between the former campaign chair and the former campaign manager. I can take a look from 30,000 feet. I can deal with strategy. But the person on the ground, the man who makes the day-to-day decisions, is Melvin. This is what he did last time, former campaign manager.
Thank you, Joris. Because I'm here, when we started this journey 4 years ago, I would say 5 years ago from the nomination for Vijay, that the one person that I always called for any advice was Joe. That I always tell that every single question, anything to it's whether it's a PC party or the Conservative party or anything to do with the politics, that I always talk to get advice. I always consider him. He's my person. I always guru for my political journey on this campaign, managerial campaign. It's not because of me that Vijay won. He committed hard work person, and if you look at his body fit right now compared to me 4 years ago, he was same fit as right now. I think he's much slimmer than right now. So he's ready to do all the door knocking and everything. He prepared himself for the last 6 months to make sure that he's fit more than ever. But one thing that I just wanted to say that the team around him right now is it's same as the previous team, and we have the new young energized team right now. Whether it's Saranya or the new campaign manager. Again, my full support is going to be here for Vijay's re-election, without a doubt. But at the same time, we just have to give the path to the young coming person to experience this one, because this is the experience, right? When we did last year, 4 years ago, that everything we did was, it was perfect, and then we wanted to make sure that Vijay get elected. So the same thing right now that we have, and it's going to do the same energy. If you look at the amount of people that showed up to this and compared like things, so that shows up how committed they are, the team. So I just wanted to introduce the new campaign manager for this campaign, Anidas.
Wow, do I have huge shoes to fill. Roxana and Joris, thank you for being amazing mentors. And I'm going to on you throughout the campaign for some more advice. If you get 12 a.m. calls, 1 a.m. calls, I apologize in advance. I've been tasked to do the honors of introducing Vijay. I'm going to keep it very short before I do that. Two things that Coach John and Saranya have been mentioning. Donate if you're able to, and if you're not, like Mr. Cho mentioned, please donate us your time. Come out and volunteer. Our campaign office will be open from Monday onwards. Every evening, every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be outdoor knocking. And like Saranya mentioned, the registration tables are the QR code on the wall, so feel free to scan it and sign up. Now, that's my job of introducing Vijay. I went back and forth on this. I wrote it down a billion times, but there's so much I can say for Vijay. I started as a volunteer, as many of you here today, door knocking for Vijay in the 2018 election. I've been honored to be part of his team for the last 4 years, to witness all the things that he's accomplished in Scarborough. Has been amazing, and I'll let him brag about all these things when he's up there. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the current MPP for Scarborough Park, the candidate for PC candidate for Scarborough Park, and the future MPP for Scarborough Park, Vijay Thanigasalam.
Thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for your time, and thank you so much for taking your Friday night to being here. Thanks to all the volunteers who worked so hard to put this office together. Thanks to all the volunteers standing behind, and thanks to all the supporters who've been supporting me since day one, since 2016-17, throughout the last campaign. You continue to support, so thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity to thank the that are here today, and from day one you've been encouraging me and being a pillar in my journey in politics. So each and every media outlet that are here, so thank you so much. And it is my honor to have here and our government house here, Mr. Paul Crantra here, and earlier we had Minister of Finance, Peter Betran Fafardi here, and we have Associate Minister Sancho, thank you so much for coming here, and Minister of Seniors and Accessibility, Minister Raymond Cho. He's been there with me from day one. Since the day I got elected, he took my hand and he actually introduced me to so many people in this area. As you all know, he's celebrating 30 years in public office. So thank you so much for your 30 years, and thank you for great mentor, Minister Raymond Cho. I cannot thank him for all the wise words he has given to me in the last 4 years. Whether it's at the event, whether it's while we wait to speak at different events, he will actually ask me to sit down next to him and give me a couple of books to read, give me a couple of things to do in politics. So thank you so much. And of course, thanks to Logan Kambadiana and Aris Bobby from Malcolm Thornhill and Agent Code for being here. Thank you so much, Minister Kalandra. You know, you're super busy. Time to here, so thank you so much. I want to thank Team Vijay, every member. Thank you so much. Last but not least, before I go, I want to thank Melvin and Joris for being having the leadership team here from 2018. I know it's almost like passing down the torch moment from Doris to Melvin to Anidas Anton. But I'm sure Anidas has 100% support from Melvin and Doris. So thank you so much for being a pillar for our campaign since 2018. Thank my mom, dad, and my brother. Thank you so much for always being there. My entire family. I have my cousins, my uncle, my aunts, my mommy, everyone is there. So thank you so much for being here. As you all know, many of you know, some of you might not know, I actually, like I came to this country at the age of 14. Before I come here, I actually escaped a brutal genocide. I was born and grew up in a place in my homeland where there is no electricity because electricity was fully banned. So until I left the island, I grew up without electricity or any of those necessities. But every day, every week, got shellings in our village. That's how I grew up. No infrastructure, it's fully village. But every week, without a gap, we'll get airstrikes in our village. But when I came to Canada welcomed me. People of Scarborough embraced my family and myself. They actually took me into high school right away in grade 9. So I'm so thankful to Canada and people of Scarborough. Like every other immigrant family, I was doing multiple jobs during high school and university, but despite the busy schedule, I immersed myself into the community, both in the community volunteering as well as in school politics, because from the day I landed here, International Pearson Airport, I felt that sense of duty to give back to this country, because this country actually welcomed us and treated us as equal human beings. When Elena and the community leaders from some community actually approached me to run multiple times, the reason I decided to represent the people of Scarborough Rouge Park is because I believed in Canada, is because I believed in the rule of law in Canada, because I believed in the competitive economy and a government that can actually work for the people. And that's the reason I ran. I believe that a hard-working family can thrive in Ontario, can actually make sure their next generation, their children, have a better future in Ontario. And also, I know and I believe that we make Scarborough a better place. And that's the reason I ran, and I believed only a strong, stable, easy, progressive, conservative government can do that. That's exactly under the leadership of Premier Ford our government is doing. We ran on the mandate that we're going to build transportation. But now we are saying yes to building transportation across Ontario, including in Scarborough, the first ever Scarborough subway extension for 30 years. We ran the mandate to support the community and community infrastructure. And now we are saying yes to build community centers across the region, including in Scarborough, and our government is building, investing to build the Bridal Town Hub and expand Chinese culture, and also building the first ever Tamil Community Center in Scarborough Rouge Park. Minister Kalandra, Minister of Finance, Minister Raymond Cho, Minister Stan Cho, all my colleagues for their advocacy for this project, because without their support, it's impossible. And this project done within a matter of 4 years, it's actually a dream come true. So thanks to my capable cabinet ministers and my capable Congress members. As you all know, we ran on a mandate to invest in the next generation in education. The single largest investment in education for recovery learning, including reading and math, STEM, and also future learning of coding. So thanks to Minister of Education for investing in education, but also to eliminate discriminatory streaming process in grade 9 academic and applied. So thanks to our government and Premier Ford for bringing equality in education. And one thing I want to mention, last 2018, we ran on a mandate that our government will invest a historic investment in mental health. And that's exactly what we are doing. We are taking us to first ever connected and comprehensive mental health support right here in Scarborough and across the province. And first ever culturally sensitive mental health project funding that's happening right here in Scarborough through Taibu to help our Black community and Black youth right here in Scarborough. So thanks to Minister Tibolo for the excellent initiative, because mental health, people get affected by mental health through various reasons. So the culture is a very key component, and our Minister of Mental Health, Minister Tibolo, is happening right here at Taibo for our Black community members. So thank you so much for that. Last but not least, we ran a mandate to build a better healthcare. Throughout COVID, before COVID, even now, our government is investing in Scarborough to redevelop a emergency department, thanks to MPP Babikian for his advocacy. And now, as Minister, as Logan Kanapati said, after so many years of mismanagement, and the former government only built 611 beds for seniors, our government, under the leadership of Premier Ford with Minister Kalandra, we are building 30,000 new beds for seniors. Throughout the pandemic, Ontario led Canada in terms of pandemic, handling the pandemic and vaccine rollout, and even in the other jurisdictions in the world too. Ontario is becoming a role model how to handle the pandemic. So thanks to Premier Ford. Last but not least, in healthcare, first ever medical school is coming to Scarborough. Thank you so much, Minister Elliott and my cabinet members, for advocating for the first ever medical school, because this is a dream come true for many young people in Scarborough, because they get to go to medical school right here and they get to serve the local communities, the Scarborough's multicultural communities. So it's a revolutionary step to have the first ever medical school right here with graduate positions, postgraduate seats, and other professional seats right here in Scarborough, 10 minutes away from this office. And this is a dream come true for a lot of young generation. Because I know there are a lot of aspiring doctors are here. So to all volunteers, to all the Team Vijay members, I hope one day open the building, the medical school in 2025. I hope one of you get in and become a doctor and serve back to Scarborough community. And that's why we are building medical center here. When I rose in the legislature and when I spoke about Tamil genocide, I would say that was the proud moment in my journey as an MPP. I have to say, introducing for Tamil Genocide Education Week, bringing it to second reading and making sure it goes to third reading, I have to thank someone who played an instrumental role, Don House Leader Paul Clandra. Thank you for your hard work and being instrumental in passing Bill 104. The first ever to recognize what's been happening to Tamil people in the island of Sri Lanka as genocide. The first ever government in the Western Hemisphere diaspora, and also it became a law after the third reading on May 6, 2021. And that movement, I'm sure every media here, every members here, every youth and senior here, they felt that they felt that this is the moment, and I felt that moment was my best moment of my life because I escaped the genocide. I came here with the support of my colleagues, the support of Premier Ford. I stood up, not just me, all my colleagues, including Minister Calandra, Maurice Barbican, all my caucus members, and even at the cabinet, they all advocated to pass the bill 104. So I cannot be more thankful, and so much thanks to go to the community members who started the advocacy from day one. Even before I was running, the community leaders, I see Mohanana, I see Chandrana, Alagana here, every single person, they said, Vijay, you have to be the voice for Scarborough Rouge, also voice for the people who doesn't have a voice. And thank you for placing the trust in me. I am so much proud and humble to represent Scarborough Rouge Park. I will continue to be your voice. I will continue to do the hard work along with my cabinet members and my caucus members. I need your support in terms of volunteers, canvassing with us, and of course fundraising. Not just for me. I know you all have friends and families across GT. So the support, not just for myself, for Paul Clandroy in Stowell, to Peter Bethlehem Falvey in Pickering, to Minister in Scarborough North, to MPP Logan Kabadi in Mark Cornwall, to Maurice Barbican in Scarborough, and of course to Minister Sancho in Villanelle, and to all the PC MPPs. The reason is I'm confident if we can deliver a brand new subway, medical school, and we are building hospitals, we are building highways, and we are making sure we're taking care of our next generation as well as seniors. If we can do that in one term, next time I'm confident with all the support, we can form a majority, strong, stable, progressive, conservative government in Ontario. This strong, stable, progressive, conservative government will build Scarborough for the future and for a stronger Ontario. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support.
Let's hear it one more time for the PC candidate of Scarborough Park. Let's make some noise. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. That wasn't powerful. I don't know what powerful is, guys. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Vijayana. Thank you for those words. As you were speaking about the medical school, I was standing with some volunteers there, and you said, in 2025, you hope that they'll walk in, and they said, that's us. That's us. So that's the impact that you're making. That's the impact that the PC government is making right now. So thank you so much, Vijayana. I thanked everyone, but there's no way that I can leave this stage without thanking one of the most important groups that are here today, and that are volunteers. As Melvin Arna, Joy Reese, everyone mentioned, this is a family. Team VJ is a family, and they mentioned that our family is growing, and that's only possible with young and dedicated volunteers that are here today. They put all of these signs up within a matter of hours just yesterday. Hold up those Vote VJ signs, guys. They're handmade signs. That is dedication. So please, please put your hands together one more time to thank dedicated volunteers again.
Finally, I just want to thank everybody for coming. As a coach, I have two advice. Going out to knock on doors is going to keep your feet. So go out. Don't just tell your friends to vote. Tell them to tell their friends. Go TV. Somebody say go TV. Let's go, VJ. Let's go. Thank you, everybody, for coming. God bless.
And just a reminder, there are also being served very shortly as well. So please make your way to the back room on your left. Feel free to mingle up. The photo booth will also be available. But at this time, I would like to call up all the guest speakers for a photo here. So Joe Reese is here, Melvin Arna, Anita Zanton, please make your way to the stage for a photo. So we can have...
ஒன்டாரியோ மாகாண சட்டசபை தேர்தல் எதிர்வரும் ஜூன் மாதம் 2ஆம் தேதி. இன்னமும் 2 மாதங்கள் 2 கிழமைகள் இருக்கின்ற நிலையிலே இப்பொழுது இங்கே தேர்தல் பிரச்சாரங்கள் ஆரம்பித்திருக்கின்றன. கடந்த சட்டசபை தேர்தலிலே ஒன்டாரியோ மாகாண சட்டசபையிலே தெரிவு செய்யப்பட்ட 2 தமிழர்களும் மீண்டும் இந்த தேர்தலில் போட்டியிடுகிறார்கள். ஸ்காப்ரோ ரூஜ் பார்க் தொகுதியிலே போட்டியிட்ட விஜய் தனிகாசலம் அவர்கள் போட்டியிட்டு வெற்றி பெற்றிருந்தார். அவர் மீண்டும் இதே தொகுதியில் போட்டியிடுகிறார். இன்று அவருடைய பணிமனை திறப்பு விழாவும் அதைத் தொடர்ந்து அவருடைய பிரச்சாரமும் ஆரம்பிக்கப்பட்ட நிகழ்வு இதுவரை நடைபெற்றது. நீங்கள் இதனை நேரடியாக பார்வையிட்டீர்கள். வணக்கம் முகநூல் உறவுகளே, நீங்கள் அனைவரும் இந்த நிகழ்வை பார்வையிட்டதற்கு உங்களுக்கு நன்றியை கூறிக்கொண்டு மீண்டும் இன்னும் ஒரு நிகழ்விலே உங்களை சந்திப்பேன் என்று கூறிக்கொண்டு வணக்கம் கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன். மீண்டும் ஒரு நிகழ்விலே சந்தித்துக் கொள்வோம். முகநூல் உறவுகளே, வணக்கம்.